Good day and welcome to another episode of Drew's Book Reviews. Today we get to take a trip down memory lane, but these memories are memories of ice. So we're going to take a trip to Kapistan, great city, small city on the continent of Genabakis. Also, I hear they have this really good tensikawi place where you get some really awesome tensikawi food. I'm looking forward to it, so I'm going to head on over there and check it out. So come with me if you want. All right, so we made it all the way to Kapistan. So I just found this tensikawi place I was talking about. It's this nice little tavern-like restaurant that we got going on here. I'm so excited to place my order for dinner. It's been a bit of a long trip, so getting kind of hungry after that. I think I see the waiter coming now. Just hold on, I'll be right back. Just want to order some food. Hey, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go with all three options today. This heart just looks amazing, juicy, delicious. Lovely. Can I get that medium rare? I find that's the best. Medium rare? Awesome. And definitely gonna go with the hand here for my starter for sure. Absolutely. And that brain pudding there, that just looks delicious. Looks like a fantastic dessert. So I'll go ahead and get the brain pudding for dessert. Okay, great, thank you. Well, now that dinner's ordered, let's talk a little bit about this book. Let's talk about Memories of Ice, Book 3 in Malazan Book of the Fallen. This series, if you haven't been reading it, if you don't know much about it, it is a big, long series. Each book is anywhere from 900 to 1200 pages long, and it is definitely a big set of books that will take quite a while to get through. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of having mixed emotions on this one as to what I like about it, what I don't like about it. I love the world that's been created by Steven Erickson. This guy has just phenomenal world building talent. I love this whole world of the Malazan Empire, Genabakis, the continent, the free cities, the characters, and the magic system that's been built up in this. Now, the magic system we don't really hear much about. We don't know a lot about the magic system, but it's got these different warrens that are powering the magic users of the world. So, of course, Quickban and Whiskey Jack and Tattersail and, all of our favorite characters and their favorite magic users in this world, they have to kind of tap into their warrens. They can travel through the warrens, and overall, the world that has been built has just been really well done, and there are a lot of characters throughout this entire book series to keep track of in each and every story. Now, one of the key characters, or one of the key points or characters within this story is kind of the dynamic, or at least that I felt, the part that I feel that I could follow most easily within this book, as well as enjoy the most of this book, would have to be the dynamic between the Maibi and Silver Fox. Silver Fox is essentially the daughter of the Maibi, but she is a very unique individual. She is a child, physically and essentially in overall literal life experiences, and the experience that she herself has had since her conception, since she came into being. But she embodied within her are the souls of two very powerful ancient magic users dating back hundreds of thousands of years, and she is slowly growing in wisdom as she's trying to deal with her basically being three people: the child she was born as, plus these two ancient wizards or sorceresses embodied within her that are basically part of her soul. So this kind of gives me almost a Dune feel, to be honest, with the whole idea of being born with the memories of your ancestors dating back hundreds of thousands of years that we see in some of the Dune books. So I don't want to get too much into spoilers about who Silver Fox is, which characters from other books that embodies her soul, and the relationship between her and the Maibi. I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but it was just the dynamic between the two and Silver Fox's ultimate role within this story. Now, what we have with this story is this big, massive threat coming to dominate the land, coming to destroy and conquer all. It is the Panion Dominant. So this is the army of cannibals that is running through the land and devouring everybody in their path, completely destroying all who come before them or try to fight against them. So of course we have this uneasy alliance that now has to be formed essentially between Animan and Rake. We've got the Jaghut undead warriors that are formed as part of this alliance, the Malazan Empire and Caladan Brood's troops as well, and of course we got the Bridge Burners, and we got Whiskey Jack, and we got Quick Ben, and all of, well, not all of, but a lot of the characters that we come to really love from Gardens of the Moon. And it just comes together. This book is action-packed. It is so full of adventure. It is full of all kinds of crazy stuff going on from start to finish. And the whole cannibalistic thing going on is just, it just gives me the shivers, honestly. Now, I know I just ordered some, human food. But at the end of the day, like, this whole idea of this army that is intentionally starved to a cannibalistic frenzy so they can be the most effective and destructive warriors the world has seen. But here's the thing. Everything within Malazan, it's not always what it seems. So the Panion Dominion is this terrible thing, absolutely, but it is not necessarily the bigger threat. That is only part of the bigger ploy. This is a world created with gods. This is a world created with those who ascend to become gods themselves, and all these gods have different powers. And the thing about the gods in this world, the thing about the gods in Malazan is they are not these benign, all-loving type of god we see portrayed by the religious community. They are the gods of, well, their own selfish interests. They're at war. They use people. They use the people of this world to their advantage. They use them to manipulate for their own ends, and they're constantly at war and fighting each other. And it definitely goes so much deeper. We've got Burn, the sleeping god, who's like the god of the underworld. Burn is responsible for things like volcanic eruptions and lava flows and things like that. We've got the crippled god who is chained and crippled essentially. He's not happy about a situation, so he's going to wreak havoc. He's going to try to break himself free. Things like that going on. And each of the warrens is basically a realm of the gods, which is where they get their powers from. So just the world that's been created, the depth of it is just really, really amazing. I love what I'm reading from Malazan. But I did mention that I am kind of conflicted about this series. And the reason I'm conflicted is because as much as I'm loving Malazan and the world that has been built, I am finding it a little bit hard to follow, to be completely honest. There are so many times throughout the book where I'm sitting here thinking, what is going on? Where are we now? What's happening? I don't get it. I'm confused. And because there's so much within Malazan, like, you will miss something if you're not paying close attention, and it can be hard to follow. This, by no means, is not a book series for the beginner in fantasy. Not by a long shot. Absolutely not. But it is a big, thick book. Like, I need to decompress after reading a Malazan book. Personally, I gotta take a couple months break between books, and I think once I'm done the series, I might have to go back, maybe listen to it on Audible to try and get a better grasp of what's going on, and I think that might help. I've heard a lot of people say that their second or third time through, they can still be confused, but as they read through it again, things start to click, things start to make sense, and things start to come together more effectively for them. And so that's a really great thing, and that is good. So that's something that I'm going to maybe look forward to. I don't know how long it'll take. At this rate, honestly, I'm probably not going to finish the series until the end of 2022, just because I need that decompression. I need that break between books. But at the end of the day, Malazan is a phenomenal book series so far. I'm really enjoying the world building and the magic aspect of it. I do have to, if I were to give this book a rating, it would probably be 3 stars, mainly because it is difficult to follow, but not because I didn't like the parts that I was following and getting. I really do. I like the world that's been built, and overall, just really enjoying this book series. And I do look forward to continuing into the next set of books, or the next book, House of Chains, I think it is. But that's probably not going to be for a couple months because, like I said, I do need a decompression. I need to just relax and take a breather, move on to something a little bit more lighthearted before I get back into the heavy depth that is the Malazan Book of the Fallen. One of the only other things I want to mention with this that I kind of like this idea is, you know, this is kind of giving me some Wheel of Time vibes just a little bit in some aspects. Is one of the things that's going on here is that the Warrens, where people obtain their magical power, where magic users utilize the Warrens to gain their magical abilities, has been infected, which is making their magic less reliable, less sustainable, essentially, and unable. So it's the Warren, the magical force which they tap into, has been infected and tainted, essentially. Kind of gives me that Sidene tainted Wheel of Time vibe going on there, because there's this one god that's responsible for it, and I won't say who, how, or what, but you know, in the Wheel of Time, we got the Dark Lord, Lord of the Dark, the evil Dark One, the Shadow, tainted Sidene. Well, the Warrens, or the magical force, is also tainted within this book. And that is just, that's awesome idea, but it's definitely not the first time that I've heard of such a thing within a book. I mean, like I said, with the Wheel of Time, Sidene has been tainted and has to be cleansed. And that taint, that infection, has to be purged from the force of magic in the world. So this is kind of the similar idea or concept, definitely not the first time I heard it. It's a concept that's kind of cool when you think about it, absolutely, 100%. Cool, it's awesome, I like it. But it's definitely not the first time that I've heard of such a concept within a book, within the world in which we've created here. So those essentially are my thoughts about specifically Memories of Ice by Steven Erickson. This is the third book in Malazan Book of the Fallen. You know what? It looks like my dinner is just on the way. It's just coming right now. Does this not look delicious? I can't wait to try it. So I'm gonna go eat now. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. You could reach me on Twitter, Instagram, follow me there. I will have my Linktree linked down below. And of course, you could also hop in the Discord and join me there as well. Hang out, we can chat books and all kinds of awesome stuff. And of course, let's not forget that you could also join me over on Patreon and get early access to my videos. You get your name shouted out in the credits at the beginning of each video. You'll get to pick my next read. Just some really cool stuff that I'm working on over there. And as we gain momentum there, I hope to add additional perks and things with the Patreon. So if you haven't joined me over on Patreon, definitely do so. I'll link that below. Always optional, of course, always appreciated. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that you get notified when I upload my next video. And until next time, keep on reading. Bye. I'm gonna go enjoy this delicious meal now.